Hey, hello, my friend. I pray that this finds you well from wherever and whenever you are tuning in. So, earlier today, I was watching a Facebook reel of this drummer who essentially improvises with different materials. So, on the video today, he had just a snare drum and what looked like the hose of a vacuum machine connected to a microphone. And just with those two things, he was drumming and making incredible sounds. Now, in the comments, sadly, there were some hateful comments. And it reminded me of the fact that anytime somebody does something that is unconventional, it will attract haters. But then think about it, even the things that are conventional were at one point unconventional and probably faced criticism. Like, was it Galileo or Copernicus? I forget. Remind me. The guy who was put in jail for suggesting that the earth is round at a time when everybody, based on convention, thought that the earth was flat. And was it Marconi, the guy who discovered the radio, who was put in a mental asylum by his own family, who thought he was nuts? So the other day I was listening to an interview of Richard Bona. If you don't know who Richard Bona is, check him out. He's an incredible bass player and singer from Cameroon, Africa. And in his story, he was talking about his first record contract with Sony, where essentially they put him in a studio and gave him 3 days to come up with an album. And apparently they just gave him free will or free reign. And in the middle of that recording session, he was kind of lost. He was like, what should I do? And then he remembered something that his grandfather told him. Essentially, his grandfather told him, anytime you are lost, look back at where you are from. And so Richard remembered his African music and he remembered that he loved to sing. And so he made his own music, singing in his own mother tongue with rhythms, African rhythms that he was familiar with. And then he says that when the Sony recording officials came and listened, they were disappointed because they were like, nobody's going to buy this. This is not even a language that we can understand. But then, Richard said, hey, you told me to express myself and this is who I am. And long story short, those records sold and did great. And if you listen to Richard today, my goodness, he still sings in his own language. He still sings a lot of African stuff. And he attracts audiences the world over. One of the questions that Richard Bona was asked by the interviewer was the biggest lesson that he learned when he was music director for Harry Belafonte. I didn't even know that part. And he said that Harry Belafonte told him essentially to trust himself, that God has given each one of us a voice, and that's your voice. So, my friend, the point of this post here today is to say, be true to who you are. Be true to your personality. Be true to your culture. Be true to your background. Be true to your experiences. And it's going to be unconventional for some people. And expect some pushback because people will always push back at what seems different. But listen, you and I were not created to blend in. The whole idea that we should fit in and walk according to convention is a lie that we have bought into. Maybe by being original and being yourself and manifesting those very ideas that God has put in you, maybe that's the revolution that the world needs for whatever field the Lord might be calling you. So in parting ways, allow me to leave you with the words of a good friend of mine. I was just having a conversation with my good friend Charles Ochana, whom I have tagged on this post. And as if to bring my thoughts full circle, He told me, your talent is your voice. Your talent is the voice that God has given you to glorify Him. So, my friend, what is your talent? What is your passion? What is your gift? What are the unique skills that God has given you? What are those ideas that God is giving you? Your talent is your voice. In the words of Harry Belafonte, trust yourself. And do you? Until next time, blessings.